Good afternoon. My name is Elad Cohen. I'm a physical therapist and I'm founder of Tempest Health and Wellness here in Denver, Colorado. So today we are going to talk about how to train your thumb. Before you train it, you need to know what movements it actually does. And a little note, when you do any gripping task, if you are holding on to something sufficiently large, you are training your thumb. So if you're used to lifting heavy things, you may not need to do it directly. But sometimes people need to train their thumb directly for a whole bunch of reasons. So I'm going to go over how to do that. First, let's talk about the movements. This is opposition, okay? Opposition, that's when you reach across to another finger, right? You can do it this way. That's opposition. We have A, B, and A deduction. So A deduction is this way or this way. You can also call it flexion. I'll be really honest with you, even though I do hand and wrist, I typically get confused between these. I refer to this as flexion and this as A deduction. And you may see some variation there. And then there's extension and abduction. So extension, abduction, abduction. If you use your phone a ton and you are getting thumb pain, obviously you can absolutely seek out a qualified physical therapist, OT, certified hand therapist, anything like that. But in terms of how to train it yourself, if you want to give that a shot, the way I recommend doing this initially, I'm going to show you guys with a piece of nylon webbing so that way you can actually see what I'm doing. But you can honestly use a dog collar. This is a little small one. It's my dog's. Really simple. So I'm going to show you with this so that way things are visible. If I'm going to train the movements towards the hand, I want to pull away from the hand. Now I could use load, okay, but it's your thumb. It's one finger. You probably don't want to use a whole lot of load at once. So I go like this, nice and slow, boom, nice and slow, get a stretch, nice and slow, nice and slow. So that's a deduction. And if I were going to use a weight and go this way, start with something really light, a washer or two before you do anything crazy. To train opposition, I go like this. So I go like that. I can grip too. You just go like this and grip across. And you should feel a burn in the base of your thumb when you do this. And what's nice about doing it manually, like where I do it, where I'm using the other hand for resistance, for travel, this is great. If you're sort of doing it on the go to strengthen up your thumb, getting a nice burn out of doing that. And you can self-select really easily, right? If I pull harder, that's more force. Really heavy training for strength, lighter training for hypertrophy purposes or endurance purposes, totally fine, okay? I can train flexion. I'm going to hold my hand like this and go down towards the thumb. Sorry, towards my palm. Can train that way. The trick with this, a lot of people, if they're going to train their thumb, it's because of osteoarthritis. A little bit of joint pain is generally okay. Just mild, that's okay, like a 1 or a 2, that's fine. You don't want to do anything that really irritates the crap out of your joints. I don't recommend doing this super heavy to start off with. Go nice and light. You don't have to go to failure in the beginning, and you gradually work your way up to heavier and heavier sets. If you're going to train those movements, I also recommend training the opposite. People who get phone thumb, where they're using their phone a lot, like this, constantly, it usually helps to train in the opposite direction. So if I take this and I go on the thumb and then I go in the opposite direction, so that's anti-opposition basically, right? That's like an extension movement. I can go like that. I can do the same thing. So if I pull down towards my palm, I go like this and I go down towards my palm, get your finger out of the way, and then down towards my palm and open, down towards my palm and open. Again, you should feel a burn at the base of the thumb. Open like that, except this time it'll be on the back side. Open. You notice my finger, my index finger's getting involved, and that's okay. It's just involuntary. I'm not super worried about it. Boom. Okay. I can do the same thing towards the palm. So I go like this, and I pull in towards the palm, and I'm providing resistance from the opposite side. So this is a really easy way to do it. It's almost just like flossing your thumb. It's going to get a little bit of muscular soreness. That's fine. But the really great thing about doing this is that you can just carry this around with you and do it, while you're between things at your job or whatever it is. And if you use your thumb a lot for work, I do recommend taking it through the full range of motion under resistance, broadly speaking, because otherwise you're just doing something repetitive, which is usually in a very defined range of motion, pipetting, if you do a lot of writing by hand or whatever it is, phone usage. Give it a shot. If you have any questions or comments, put them down below. And feel free to like if this was helpful, subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Have a good day. Bye.